All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. How we doing? Buongiorno. Welcome back. Margin call. Thank you for the influence. 1,100 likes. That's our goal today. This weekend I'm gonna get a like counter. I'm gonna figure it out. New music, maybe new music, like counter. I've been trying to thinking about ways to spruce up and upgrade the live stream. So I'll find some time to make it even better for us. Always improving, right? Always taking a step forward in everything you do. That's the key. Sub counter, yeah. I know you can do it on Twitch, but YouTube is, I don't know if it has the same, I don't know if YouTube has the same features as like streaming on Twitch, but I'll figure something out. So a nice little move there yesterday. If you guys saw that intraday move yesterday, little break and hold over 14.8, that was very, very key yesterday. So leading to a little bit of upside this morning. Yeah, guys, if you can't get into your Discord, whether it's my community, someone else's community, wherever it is, it's a Discord-wide problem. Check out the pinned message in the live chat. It's a Discord problem this morning. I was blocked, and I was like, well, I'm getting hacked. Someone's trying to hack me. But then I realized it was a Discord-wide problem. So if you guys can access the Discord, unfortunately, nothing I can do about that right now. I'm going to keep updated with Discord as much as I can. You guys can check out their Twitter. You can see updates to it. You can also, Trendy, thank you, brother. Trendy just sent me a DM how to add a like counter to the live streams. See that? Thank you, guys. You can use the Discord mobile app if you guys are not able to exit or not able to access from desktop. So you can go to your mobile app. It'll be available there. I think the mobile app is working. The desktop app is not. It'll probably come back sometime, probably pretty soon. Discord's pretty good with fixing their problems. So anyways, welcome back, guys. Press that like button if you could. Subscribe to the channel. As always, NASDAQ 14.8 hold yesterday was beautiful. I longed the QQQ. If you guys are in the Discord, you know that. I longed NVIDIA, and it's going to be a really good morning. It's going to be a really good morning for me. Probably just scaling out of swings, and that's it for my Friday, most likely. Maybe I'll stick around, see if there's anything I like, maybe some more swing setups maybe into next week. I'm interested in Netflix. Netflix is a little bit of a nice little risk-reward setting up, and with the profits that I'll have this morning, I have that margin, right? I always like to, when I swing trade, I always like to be green on the day. I think I've talked about this with you guys here, or maybe with the Discord community, but if I'm going to swing trade something, I'm always more intrigued to do it if I have some profits on the day. So I'll have some profits this morning, and so I would be interested in maybe putting some of those profits into this Netflix setup that I'm watching. I'll talk you guys through that one today. Yeah, so it's all about 14.8, man. We've been talking about 14.8 on this live stream for the last 2 weeks. We've been spot on with the levels. If you guys come here every morning, you're more than well prepared for the levels on the futures. They have been showing us the way, and yesterday it showed us the way. We broke 14.8, we came back down, we retested it, we held it, and that was your sign for potential more upside. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. It's Friday. It's 8:05. If you guys could press that like button. We got 800 viewers, 200 likes. If you can get that, if we can. My ex likes to swing trade. If you guys could press that like button, let's do it. So here's our schedule today. We do have a schedule. I know you guys love the schedule. Economic earnings calendar. I think you do have a little bit of a busy economic calendar today. You do have, you got a few things on the docket. Let me go ahead and pull that up. PCE, personal income, personal spending. Nothing that I think is, major market movements, but let's go ahead and pull that up here so you guys can see right here. Friday, September 29th, we have a lot of stuff coming out here at 8:30. So in about 24 minutes, personal income, personal spending, PCE index, year over year, month over month, obviously. And then you have the U.S. trade balance, advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, 9:45 Chicago Business Barometer, 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. So these are all, I would call these things all sort of ancillary. I wouldn't really, these aren't major market moving data points, but definitely something to be watching. We'll see what the volatility looks like on the market in about 24 minutes when this all comes out. So that's that. We'll go back here on the charts and on the futures at 8:30 to get an idea of what the movement is. That's that. Tesla, 248, big level today, something you should be watching. This is very important. 248 break and retest hold is a very potential long entry. I will be watching this one today. NVIDIA, 430 retest was a thing of beauty yesterday. I longed NVIDIA. I longed it a little bit higher than 430, but I knew where I needed to give it as a stop loss, and that 430 hold into end of day was exactly what I wanted, and we got it. So I'll talk you through why I wanted to swing trade NVIDIA with a 430 retest. Apple 173.50. We are potentially pushing back into that rejection point, so something to be watching. Netflix, we'll talk through that swing trade idea that I have here on Netflix. Google 133. a Microsoft hold that I want to show you, and then Amazon moving into its 100 SMA. Today is all about a few futures levels that you have to be watching. It's also Friday, right? So let's all put our Friday thinking caps on. A Friday for me, in my opinion, is a day to not lose your weekly profits, right? And if you don't have any profits on the week, it's also not a day to make things worse, right? A Friday is, for me, it's more of, I guess, this is just the way I am, but for me, a Friday is more about mindset and more about making sure I end the week on a strong note, making sure I come into the next week with confidence. That's more important to me than anything on a Friday. So, taking an ugly loss on a Friday, it hurts your confidence. You're going into the weekend. It just sort of kills the vibe, to be honest. So I like to end the week on a really nice, really strong, and if that means I scale down, I don't take many trades, and I just walk away, so be it. I think that's more important than trying to come out here on a Friday and trying to swing for the fences, man. Always next week, always new opportunities. Make sure you end the week on a nice, clean note. Maybe you take one trade, a nice, clean trade, end the week on a positive note, right? That's just sort of how I look at it. And I've been trading next week contracts on Fridays, which I've enjoyed. I did that last week, and I enjoyed it a lot. So no zero DTE for me. I just don't need that risk. It's not necessary. I'm more interested in maybe setting up some next week contracts into next week, into this Friday. So with that said, I'll stop blabbering. Let's get started. Let's go to the charts. Let's go to the NASDAQ, and let's look at exactly what happened yesterday. So yesterday, you guys know we had that little double bottom from Tuesday, right around this 14,670, that 14,6 level. We held that very well. We held that all morning. We would not break under it, right? We just continued to hold that Tuesday low, right? So we had a nice little push in the morning and a nice rejection off 14.8. We actually played this 14.8 rejection early morning. If you guys are part of the group, we played that NVIDIA put pretty early morning off that 14.8 push. That was right here. So we had a little push towards that supply at 14.8. We shorted that move on NVIDIA back to the downside. But as we always say, right, at least if you're in the community, this is a profit-taking market, right? This is not a market where you take a play and you hold it all day and you hope for some kind of big move. That has not been happening on this market, and we need to be understanding of market conditions, right? That's I think a little bit of a hidden, thing that most people don't really talk about, but I think it's very important. You need to understand the market context, what kind of market you're in. Are you in a choppy market? Are you in a trending market? And when you're in a choppy market, you can't expect much, right? You got to expect, little scalps, 10, 15%. I'm sorry, this was the 14.8, not this one. This one right here. This was pre-market. So we had that 14.8 push and the rejection. But like I was saying, this market is a profit-taking market. You get 10, 15, 20% on a scalp, take some profits, right? Things can always reverse in this market, and that is exactly what we did. So we reversed, right? We reversed intraday and got a big squeeze over our 14.8 level. When we came back down and retested 14.8, we held it perfectly. And so I think this is a good example, right? Because, and this is not saying, it's not calling anyone out. It's not saying, people are bad traders, but this is what I get to experience as I run a trading community, which is very valuable because I can see, the tendencies of traders, right? So as we were squeezing here, right, I for sure felt the increase in emotion within the community that I run. I'm sure across every community out there of traders, the increase of emotion on this push was definitely there, right? Because it's squeezing, you're feeling FOMO, you don't want to miss out, right? All these feelings start to come in. And so I always say, what I say to the group, wait for the retest. It will always come, right? The market does not just move straight up. There will always be a pullback. There will always be an opportunity for a reentry. This might feel like a lot of FOMO. It may feel like it'll never end, right? As the market's squeezing up, you have that feeling that, oh my God, this is never going to pull back. I'm going to miss out on this whole move. I can guarantee you after years and years of experience, there will always be a pullback. And the people that wait for the pullback are the ones that are profitable. And so all you had to do yesterday, after this thing squeezed over 14.8, was just stay a little bit patient, right? Just stay a little bit patient, wait for it to pull back to the retest level. And that is exactly what it did. That is exactly what it did. It pulled back to the retest level of 14.8, put in some really nice wicks there, and this was your long opportunity, right? You didn't even need to catch the squeeze, right? You did not need to catch the squeeze. All you needed to do was let it squeeze, let it pull back, and long it at the retest. And that was where we longed the QQQ overnight in the chat. So if I pull that up, let's see if Discord is working for me. Possibly not, but I will try. Let's see if it's going to work. Nope, it's not. So maybe for some people, but not for me. Obviously, if you guys are in the chat, you saw that in Desi Swings. We added some QQQ calls here. Did I say puts? I meant calls. QQQ calls here around this 14.8 and a really nice swing trade there on the break and retest of that level. So break and retest again, crushes it. Really nice hold above 14.8 today on the NASDAQ futures. Now, what's next, right? What's next? What are we looking at today? So today we are watching these highs right here, right? Around this 15,000. I'm going to call it up to 15,050 to be protective. I think that you could definitely see some potential rejections, right, in this area. I think you can absolutely see some of these. Oh, the browser. Okay. The browser is used. Okay. So I'll do that real quick with you guys. After I go over this NASDAQ, I'll walk you through some of that. I'll walk you through how to get to that. But NQ, you guys can see right here, previous highs at 15,000 back on Thursday. Previous highs on Friday at 15,000. And you can see that we are trading up into that level, right? That is where I would be cautious today. Would I be entering longs today into this 15,000? No, I would not, right? I would not be entering longs into this 15,000 double top from last week. Now, if we can get a really solid break and hold over this 15,000, then I think it sets us up for that push, right? I think you will continue this upside because if you guys look, right, we talk about this on the channel a lot. This was very quick downside on the NASDAQ. From Wednesday to Thursday, we went straight down. Now, when you get a straight down move, you can expect the straight up move, right? You can expect equal reactions from the downside and the upside. When you move this quickly down, you can expect this quickly up, right? So I would be watching that, right? I would be watching that. If you can get a break and hold over this 15,000 area today, right, I would definitely be interested to see if this thing wants to continue higher. So 15,000, I think that's your major level today. These previous highs right here, and right here, 15,000. I would be watching that area. And if we hold above that area today, definitely interested for upside continuation. For me, right, I have some next week Q calls. I have some next week NVIDIA calls. And so for me personally today, guys, I'm probably just going to scale out of some of those at open in case we get a supply rejection. And if we don't, I'll hold some runners, right? I'll hold some NVIDIA call runners. I'll hold some QQQ call runners. That's what I'm going to do personally. But if you're looking for an entry today, you're going to want to see a hold over 15,000, a solid hold over 15,000. I would not be entering longs today if you are under 15,000. You would be entering longs right into this double top, which could absolutely reject. This could absolutely reject, okay? So please understand that. Please understand that. This could absolutely be a rejection point that we just stay within this channel into end of week, right? That's not, I don't think most people would be surprised to see us reject this level, right? And just sort of chop into end of week, right? Into a Friday. So please be careful being, as we say, a horny bull or a horny bear because of this gap up today, right? That's just a little bit cautious there. Watch 15,000. It needs to hold above that. You need to get some confirmation for continuation to the upside. If not, you might see a little bit of rejection there. All right? 15,000 on the NQ. The key hold yesterday which is what we talked about the entire week. And you guys know that. I've been screaming 14.8 into your ears all week. We had a break, and we had a hold of 14.8, and that is what's causing this upside. So 14.8 for 15,000. Watch this zone in Q today. Very important. Very, very important. All right. QQQ, right? So here's your level on the Qs. You can also use the QQQ as your guide today, right? This is right here, 361.50. What else do you have right above? You have the 100 SMA at 362.50, right? So you see right here, QQQ, double top rejections from Thursday and Friday, right? Thursday rejections, 361.50. Friday rejections, 361.50. So are you going to long $1 under that supply? No. Risk reward does not make sense to long it here into this double top at Thursday, Friday, right? If the market goes back to what it's been doing, right? If the market goes back to just rejecting supply highs, which it has been doing for a week and a half now, this is very much a potential rejection point today. So watch out for 361.50 if you're looking long. Be careful of that rejection point up there today. You also have that 100 SMA just sort of creeping right here around that 362.50. So be cautious of that today as well as you trade intraday. The long entry was the break and retest of the previous lows, right? Yesterday, the 357, 357, 357, rejection at 357 on Wednesday. And yesterday, you can see it right here. Excuse me. 357, right? Look how clean this is. It does not get any cleaner. This is how you read market structure, right? This is a structural change in the market, right? This is where you take action. So this is 357 rejections on Wednesday. This is a 357 flush on Tuesday, right? Now, yesterday, you get a break, and you get a pullback, and you get a beautiful wick hold right at that level, man. And that is just something you have to take action on, right? You guys can see right here, break, retest, 357, previous day highs into support, and that is what's causing your upside today. So on the QQQ, here's what you're watching today. 357 is a must hold into the future if we want to maintain higher. That is a must hold. If you read the pinned message, Larry, you will understand why you cannot access Discord. Read the pinned message in the chat. It is a server-wide problem. It's not just our community. It's every community out there. It's a Discord-wide problem. You can use the mobile app or you can use the web browser. The app is the problem. The desktop app is the problem this morning. All right. So 361.50 supply, 100 SMA, and then that 357 demand. That is what you're watching today. ES. A little bit of an inverse head and shoulder, I'm not going to lie. If you look at this 30-minute chart, that's definitely a little bit of an inverse head and shoulder. So really nice hold, right? You guys can see right here. Not you, Larry. There's another Larry. There's a lot of Larrys out there. Really nice hold of the 200 SMA. Absolutely beautiful. You guys can see that right there. Yesterday, squeezed to the upside. We squeezed over the 43.25 level, right? That was the level that was rejecting yesterday. Break, retest. Break, retest. Yesterday intraday, we broke the rejection points. We squeezed. People chased. People lost, right? Ad inserted. There's an ad, huh? YouTube's throwing ads in the chat. So you have this break, right? You have this squeeze. People are longing, right? People are taking longs into the squeeze because they can't help themselves. They can't control their fingers. They're just, oh my God, I have to trade long here, right? They're not waiting for the retest. They lose money, and then they see this thing, right? They see us wake up, and they see it higher, and that's just, yeah, I'm going to figure out what YouTube's doing, man. They're throwing ads on the live streams, and yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. Don't you worry. So break, retest, 43.25. Look at that demand hold, right? Beautiful hold, and that's why we're moving higher today. So if we go back to the 30-minute chart, right, we can see here you have this 43.66 level, 43.65, right? And this is where you're watching, 43.65, 43.65, right? That is your supply level to be watching today. That is where you need to be cautious being long into. 43.65. That's a rejection point from Tuesday. That is your support back from Thursday of last week and your little support here end of day Friday. So 43.65, right? 43.65. Be careful of that. If you break and hold over that level today, then I think you might have that move towards that 4,400 coming in here. Maybe today, maybe next week. But 43.65, that's your level. You hold above that today, I think you can have that squeeze towards 4,400, right? So 4,400 is the big one. 43.65 is that level you're watching this morning. And then the demand break and retest that you're watching that happened yesterday is the 43.25, right? That was very important yesterday, very clear. I wonder if this could be a hold level today. I'm going to put this on my radar. This could be an interesting level to monitor here. This 43.45, right? Right here. This double bottom low at 43.45. That could be an interesting level to watch as a support, right? So if we do get a pullback, maybe we watch this little 43.45 area as well. I would put that on your chart, right? Just to be aware of it. 43.45, this little double bottom low from Monday, Tuesday, that could be an interesting spot. So 43.45 and 43.25 are those two downside levels I'd watch. And then that 43.65 above. All right? SPY. All right. Pretty much the same thing, guys. Break and retest, previous highs, 428. We talked about this. This is a very nice break and retest demand. That's what's causing upside this morning. Made a video on it yesterday. Make sure to check that out. Supply above 431, right? 431, 431, 431, 431, right? Your 431 rejections from Tuesday of last week. You have a little bit of a hold here, break and retest hold here, and you're up into the 431 supply. So today, you need to be over 431 and you need to be holding above it for that upside continuation, right? You have to be over 431 for upside continuation today. You have to also be cautious of the 431 rejections, right? Be careful of us potentially rejecting this Tuesday high right here. Tuesday high, big wick and big downside right off 431. So keep an eye on that 431 level. That's very important, right? Keep an eye on that. If we break and hold above, I like upside towards 434. If we reject, back into the 428 demand. Okay? All right. Russell is probably going to move towards channel highs here. If I go to the 4-hour chart, I would be cautious on the Russell. If we move higher, be cautious as we start to approach this entire zone up here. This entire 1840 to around 1850 area. Look at all these previous highs. Be careful on the Russell as you trade into this 1840, 1850. This could be a rejection of that channel high, right? And it would also be a retest of the head and shoulder neckline, right? You can see right here, we have this head and shoulder that held at this area previously, right? And it flushed. This is where it flushed. It flushed under these highs or these lows, right? So you're moving back into those lows. So you need to be careful of that retest and that rejection. So watch out for around that 1840 zone on the Russell. I think that's going to be a big watch here into end of week and into next week, of course. Dow held the demand. We talked about this demand. We went to that daily chart, right? And we talked about this is a big zone for the Dow. You can see right here, Dow's been pretty sideways, right? And look at this, right? You're holding it again. You're holding the same spot that you held on the daily chart since October of last year. That is exactly where the Dow is holding on, right? So could the Dow just do the same exact little sideways chop here again? Most likely and probably, right? So Dow Jones, 33.6. Is this a potential long entry with risk reward? I'd say so. You know, if you're willing to take that shot, right? I would say so. If you longed it at this level the last few times, even this time, you got a little bit of upside opportunity, right? It did flip and fall back under, but for the last year and, for about the last year, every time the Dow was in this zone, there was upside opportunity off that level. So is there some upside opportunity on the Dow here? I'd say there's a short-term opportunity there, right? And that's at least you have good risk reward, right? At least you have good risk reward, and you can see it's done it in the past. So keep an eye on that Dow around 33.6. It's a pretty strong area on the Dow. It's held for the last year, and it's trying to hold again. All right, let's go Tesla, and then we will go and look at the futures for the economic data. All right, so here's Tesla, and this is really what I'm watching today. I'm looking to see, I haven't been able to figure out the exact level on Tesla because it's been a little bit all over the place. I'm thinking 248 is about the right spot to be watching. 248, 247.50, this general area I think is the right spot to be watching on Tesla. I also know that 250 is sort of a important level, but this 248 looks to be the level, right? You can see right here, 248, 248. You can see right here, 248 here. You see this 248 rejections here. You see these 248 rejections here, right? You see all these 248 rejections. Supply and demand on the IWM. Yeah, possibly. This is the same as the Russell, so what we just saw in the Russell, you can do the same thing on the IWM. So you guys can see right here, 248, 247.50. I'm looking to see if Tesla can pull back into this level, right? I want Tesla. I'm not going to long Tesla on a gap up. It's not my day, right? That's not what I'm doing today. I'm not that aggressive today. I am not going to be longing Tesla on a gap up, right? It's not that kind of day for me. So if Tesla wants to pull back and it wants to fill the gap, right? Fill the gap up and hold this 248, right? Then I would be interested in seeing if there is support that steps up around this 248, 247.50 today. If we get a gap fill, this morning gap fill, retest, let's say, yesterday's pre or after hours highs, retest some of these previous highs here, start to hold the 248. If I start to see some wicks coming in, some demand holding, then I'm definitely going to be looking for that long potential. So 248, 247.50, big watch here on a pullback. Just be careful. Come on, bro. TQQQ, bro. Do AMD real quick. Guys, I'm working on something. I mean, I'm doing something. Okay? What do you expect? Oh, my God. Yeah, 15,000. We got a little pop there. Little economic data. AMD, SPX. Please. 15,000. Nice little pop there on data. Say it again, Peter. You're out. 15,000 on the Nasdaq. We're testing it right here. Right? You can see we're getting a little bit of a. Let the man cook. Let me cook. So 15,000. You're getting that push. Let's see what happens up there. That's going to be the key level. That's going to be the key level. It's a little bit of a rejection at 15K. All right, so you can already see that's our level, right? Look at that little wick off 15. 15,050. This zone is going to be a little bit heavy, guys. I really do believe that, right? You can see this 30-minute chart. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park to get above this area, right? I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park to get above this area on the Nasdaq. You can see right there. A little bit of a pop, a little bit of a wick. It's going to be a little heavy up there. All right, so NQ 15,000. Be careful up there. We'll see if we can get above it, but let's continue. So back to Tesla. Let's look for that retest. Let's look for that 248 area hold, 248, 249, this general area. Let's see if that starts to maintain today. If it does, interested in that break and retest, just monitor that 50 SMA up here around 251.50. All right? I bet you the people asking for me to do things haven't even pressed the like button. I can guarantee that. All right, NVIDIA. Oh man, do I love this, right? Do I love this on NVIDIA? Going to be really nicely up this morning. Just a really, really nice little break and retest here. 430. You guys can see 1. You can see 2. You can see 3. You can see those previous 430 lows. You can see the previous 430 rejections. And yesterday, what did we do? Right? Yesterday, we go to the 5-minute chart. You guys can see right here. 430, squeeze, retest, look at all the holds at 430 into close, right? And that is exactly what you want to see. You want to see a break. You want to see a retest, right? And you want to see the hold. And that is exactly what we got. Break, retest, triple bottom low in the 5-minute, maintaining that level into close. I swung this with the group. If my Discord is working, I can show you that. I know it's probably working on the web version, but nope. Great. Let's see if I can pull it up on mobile. Whatever. You guys get the point. Desi swings. Going to attempt an NVIDIA long here, 430 retest, October 6th, 435 calls. Stop under. I had a stop under 431, and then I moved it to 430. So really nice there. Really nice stuff. Break and retest, NVIDIA 430. That's the key, man. And so at this point, right? At this point, internet enforcers. We need some internet enforcers. If you aren't dropping $25 for a stock TA request, you should keep quiet. Thank you, brother. If you need something, let me know, internet. Let me know if you need anything. You want me to look at anything. I appreciate that. So you guys can see here, 443, 445. That's really my next level. That's my target on this long trade. This previous low, this previous low, this previous high, right? So I'm targeting an NVIDIA push into this supply today. And I will be scaling out profits as we get it. This is what I would be watching, right? So push into this 443, 445. Keep an eye on that level. That would be the target. As long as we're above that 430, guys, I think NVIDIA stays to the upside, right? As long as NVIDIA holds above 430, that is a very key hold. Break and hold above 430. As long as you're above 430, that is an important hold, and that should lead to upside. Now, of course, you can get some pullbacks into that level, but keep an eye on if NVIDIA can maintain that level, right? If NVIDIA falls back under 430, then this play sort of changes, right? That sort of becomes invalidated. So keep an eye on that 430. Of course, there could be pullbacks to it. And if there is a pullback, start to look to see if there's a hold there for maybe a second entry long, right? On a pullback to 430. So that's the level I'd be watching, 430, and then 443, 445. Apple, Netflix. Let's go into Netflix because I think this is a very, very interesting setup here. You know, it's extremely early. And so the earlier you get in here, the more uncertainty there is, of course. But Netflix has been in this very systematic downside move, right? Systematic as hell, just sort of grinding lower right into the 200 SMA and right into the major daily chart demand. So you guys can see right here, daily chart on Netflix. You have a daily chart previous high and a previous high here right around this 370, right? Right around this 370 area. You have these previous highs on Netflix, and then we squeezed above. Now you're coming back to that level, right? You're coming back into that level, and you're coming back into the 200 SMA. That's a big level for Netflix, right? 200 SMA is a major SMA. Now, yesterday, you can see here on the 30-minute chart, we squeezed lower and quickly got bought back up as we entered this demand zone, and we're starting to push higher this morning. So, if you don't care to lose some money, right? If you're not scared to lose a few $100, because that's what it's going to take in trading, right? To catch a Netflix trade that's, to get into an entry that's a very potential fantastic entry, but also at the same time, it has risk implied, right? There's risk implied in taking longs here. If you're all right risking a few $100, maybe a few $1,000, depending on your, depending on the size that you like, this is a very intriguing entry, right? Because you're at demand, you're at the 200 SMA. You could put a stop under that 200 SMA, right? You could just say, hey, I'm going to hold some Netflix as long as it's above that 200. I like that potential long opportunity. You could trade it with shares, right? And just put a stop on your shares below the 200. I would personally take like a month out, give this thing some time. Very interested here. And if I have to risk $500 to potentially catch this trade, I will 100% take that risk, right? I'm okay risking $500, whatever it's going to cost, to maybe take a pretty interesting risk reward for upside off this previous high, and this 200 SMA that you're starting to get a little bit of a bid off of from yesterday. So big watch, right? Big watch for me today. I'm probably going to put something in the portfolio. We'll see how heavy I get into it, but I'll probably put something in the portfolio today along the terms of looking for Netflix upside. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. Apple. So where's Apple trading back into? Apple is trading back into our 173.50 supply, right? And in my opinion, if Apple, this is a very nice hold of these previous lows and this previous high, this 171.50 area. If Apple gets back above 173.50, I think you could see some upside because there's probably a lot of shorts that are going to be sort of piled in here. I think if you can get back above this channel low, then I would be looking for that upside move back into channel high, right? That's obviously depending on market. But I am going to be looking for the 173.50 level today. I will look for both sides. I will look for 173.50 rejections again, and I will look for 173.50 break and retest longs. So I'm going to be open to both sides there, but very interested in Apple here. I would like to see Apple wake up a little bit. It has been a little bit slow. Contracts have been pretty shit, but I'll be watching this 173.50 on Apple today. I think that's a big watch, a level that I would be watching as well. All right. Google, Microsoft, Amazon. Google, Microsoft, Amazon. I'm also going to go to AMD because that thing's been a little bit interesting over there. Here's Google. So what did Google do? Google got back above this channel high, which is very, very intriguing. You can see right here, we had that 133 level on Google, and look at what it did yesterday. Can't make this up, guys. Break and retest of our 133 level. Pretty much as perfect as it gets. Break, retest, hold of 133, upside continuation for now. Now, if Google maintains over 133, this is an interesting little downside move, right? Look at this downside move on Google. Could Google just sort of squeeze up back towards that 137.50? That is interesting. It's a little bit questionable in this market, but as long as Google is over this 133, right? As long as Google is over these previous highs and it's holding like it is, you look at that hold, right? This is a perfect example of break and retest on the longer time frames. Break and retest of this previous double top high. As long as you hold above this 133, I think there's reason to be looking for upside. Now, I would just be a little bit careful of this 20 SMA, right? You got the 20 SMA around this 135.50. I'd be a little bit careful of that level right here. But if Google can maintain 133, I do not mind the idea of looking for Google upside into this supply low, right here, into this 137.50. So definitely a watch for me today, looking to see if Google holds 133. Microsoft is also doing some. Everything's sort of flipping here, man. Everything sort of took a step higher yesterday. So this is a very interesting spot for the market. I think this is a I think this is a time to be paying attention, man. You've had some really aggressive downside. We've caught the downside. You had your first, whether this works out or not, right? This is where you take some risk, right? Whether you're able to, whether you're able to get actual upside continuation here or not, this is where you have to start considering taking some risk, because there are a lot of technical things that happened yesterday that are very key, right? That NASDAQ held 14.8. You can see, look at all these break and retests that are going on here. Google, break and hold above, right? 133. You have Tesla breaking and holding above 248. You have NVIDIA breaking, holding above 430, right? You have a break and hold above Google of 133. And then finally, when we were just talking about Microsoft, break and hold above this 315. So keeping an eye on this, right? If Microsoft holds above this 315, I like that upside into 318. And if you hold above 318, then that's probably going to be sort of aggressive in my eyes, right? So I'd watch 315 to hold, and I'd watch 318 today on Microsoft. All right. Amazon, and then AMD. Holy shit, Amazon's moving higher. All right, yeah, here's your level on Amazon. This is going to be interesting today. I would say you put it up to 129 to be safe. 129, 100 SMA on Amazon. 129, 100 SMA on Amazon. That's what you're watching today, okay? You do not long it on a chase. Watch 129 and the 100 SMA on Amazon today. If Amazon can break and hold above the 100 SMA and hold above 129, I would look for continuation. AMD, absolutely gorgeous 200 SMA hold, right? Did we not talk about this? I know we did, right? We said be careful of the 200 SMA hold. Look at that, right? Look at that little curl right off the 200. Beautiful. So AMD, nice curl off the 200. Nice break yesterday. You are back above that 100, back above even this 103. This is a very key level. Look at this. Let's go into the shorter time frames. Let's get a little bit more time here. All right, look at what AMD is doing here. You guys can definitely tell me what this is doing. I hope you can. If you pay attention at all, you on these live streams at all, you know what AMD is doing, right? Previous lows, previous lows, previous highs, previous highs, previous highs, previous highs, previous highs, break, hold, continuation. As long as AMD is over 103, you're not shorting into this, right? This is a strong move. As long as it's above 103, it's nice, right? As long as it's above 103, it's not bad there. I'm a little bit uneasy trading AMD because I don't know what's going to happen in this area, right? I would try to be long as close as I can to 103, but this is just sort of a weird area here. Yeah, it's just a very heavy. It looks like around this 106 is your next zone to be watching. 106.40. You can see right here. Previous highs, previous lows here, previous rejection here, big hold right there, and then a huge rejection right there. So I would say your next level here is that 106.30. All right, right around that 106.30. All right, guys. That is going to be it for me today. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to press that like button. Yeah, I'm going to figure out the ads. Guys, stop complaining about the ads, please. I thank you for letting me know. I know I said to let me know, but I've seen it 1,000 times already. So I know you're getting ads. Let's not be complainers. You come here for free every single morning. All you need to do is press your finger on a mouse, and you get me to work for free for you. And all you need to do, I guess now, is maybe watch a 5-second ad. I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. I'm thinking that. Maybe. I think you'll be okay. I'm going to figure out how to get it off. But for now, you'll be okay. I promise. All right? Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream once again. Discord is having problems on the desktop app. Once again, for everyone here, if you need to access Discord, go to your mobile app or go to the web browser. Go to discord.com and it'll say open as web browser. I think that works. The only thing that's not working is the Discord desktop app. Okay? So there's a desktop app that you download onto your server or onto your computer. That's not working. Mobile app or web browser, I believe, are working. So make sure to check those out if you want to get access to the chat today and to anyone's chat. It's not just mine. Any chat you're in, you're going to need to do that. All right? Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. I will be tailgating this weekend at UCF. So if anyone's there, hit me up. I'll be at UCF tailgating at my old school. Go Knights. We'll see how the night ends in UCF. Bring it back to college for a night. Should be a good time. Thank you guys again. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week on Monday. Peace.
Wow.